Greetings, Lehigh Carbon Community College, and welcome to Suggestions for Summer Success, batch number 1. All right, so about this series, we're going to share some ideas and resources so you can have a successful summer term here at Lehigh Carbon Community College. My name is Michael. I'm a learning specialist, and I help students with multiple things while they're in college, help them with test-taking strategies, how to deal with test anxiety, how to manage their time, how to set goals, how to manage projects, and a whole bunch of things. That's what I do. I am located in the educational support area of the college, and our contact information is right here. Special shout out to Callie in the first year experience, who is a proud sponsor of this video series. Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about summers of Scrunchy, some don'ts and do's, 3 important ideas to keep in mind for your summer, and planners, calendars, and routines, and why they're all really important for you. Okay, first of all, scrunchies, you know, the things that kind of compress the hair and things like that. Think about summer courses like this. Everything's still there, but it's just compressed, right? You know, that's what happens in the summer course. So basically a 15-week course is compressed in either a 10-week course or a 5-week course. It's still all there. It's just scrunched up, right? So that means basically a 10-week course runs 1/3 faster than normal, right? It runs faster. But also means a 5-week course runs 3 times faster. So keep in mind, you signed up for this. So you need to accept this and make plans accordingly, right? You signed up for this. You knew what you're getting into when you took this course. So you got to make plans accordingly. It's all scrunchy, and you got to be prepared to deal with that scrunchiness. So here's some tips for you, okay? Some don'ts and do's for scrunchy courses. 1, don't miss class, okay? Don't miss class. Really don't miss class, because if you miss 1 day of class during the scrunchy period, you could miss almost like a week or 2 of regular courses, okay? So make sure you attend every class. Now, if you have an online-only class, make sure you check in daily and do work daily on that course, right? Don't put off assignments or coursework. You really don't have time to do that. You have to do it immediately, right? So do your assignments and coursework as assigned. But likewise, don't work ahead, right, on assignments or coursework unless you're encouraged by your faculty member. Some faculty members say, hey, go work ahead. But if you work ahead, you can create problems for yourself because you might have to redo some of the work. And you don't have a lot of time to kind of redo things if you mess things up, right? So you got to trust the teaching and learning process. So kind of go with the flow of the course. Accept the course for what it is and go with the flow with it, right? Do not work ahead on assignments unless you're encouraged, okay? Also, don't do this solo, right? You think, oh, learning's on me. I got to figure all this out on me. That's a big mistake here. Make sure you use your resources and supports you have here that are available to you so you can be efficient and effective in your learning, right? That means working with learning specialists. That means working with your faculty member. That means working with tutors. That means working with classmates. You have to be efficient and effective. You don't have a lot of time not to be able to figure things out, right? Okay, also, don't rush or cram. Right. Oh, I'm just going to cram this all in on a Friday. That's a big mistake too. You want to spread out your learning as much as possible, but you also need to stay on track with it, right? Don't get behind in your courses. Stay up on things as much as possible. If you get behind in your coursework, you know, what's behind. If you get behind in things, you're really going to have a hard time catching up because there's not a lot of time to catch up. Right? Also, don't ignore best practices and learning theories that are really important to you. You want to apply these theories to your learning this summer. Speaking of which, one of the important theories I want to drop on you guys is the idea of cognitive load theory. Cognitive load theory relates to how much information we can have in our working memory at one time, right? So this is stuff that we're thinking about. And we only can handle so much in our brains at one time, right? And we either throw it out, or ideally what we're doing is we're encoding it for a long-term memory, right? So our working memory can only hold so much, and we tend to throw stuff away. But really what we need to do to learn things is we have to encode as much of that as possible in a long-term memory and be able to retrieve that on assessments to see if we actually learn those things. The other thing to think about here is this idea of the forgetting curve. So transience is the idea that we kind of forget things over time. Well, when it comes to the college, that's kind of really important because we have this thing called the forgetting curve. If you look at this forgetting curve, it says basically when you first hear something, right, you kind of remember it pretty quickly. But 6 days later, if you don't review that stuff, you're really going to forget it. So honestly, to make sure you learn the material well, you need to review things at least 3 times. So you learn it once, review it second, review it once, right? Review it 1 time, review it a second time, review it a 3rd time. So you have to have exposure to it 4 times to be able to recall it around a 90% rate, right? And you have to kind of spread that out. You can't cram all that stuff in. So forgetting curve is something to keep in mind. It takes time to learn things and to get in that deeper learning, right? Other thing is think about the planning fallacy. We as human beings aren't good at planning. Not just you as students, we as human beings, we are not good at planning. Okay, we regularly underestimate how much time it will take us to do something. This is true if we've done it before. We are just bad when it comes to this, right? So, so a counter to this, if you think the reading is going to take you 1 hour, right, just schedule 3. Just triple your starting point, right? Because we are just bad planners. So if you think a project's going to take you 2 hours to do, really just plan 6. Okay, you got to kind of flesh that out about more, right? Plan it, because this is one of the reasons why over planning is useful. There's more pros to over planning than cons of underestimating, right? If you underestimate the time you need, you're going to have a hard time finding it. But if you overestimate it, you have a little time to play around with, right? So it's better to have too much time planning for a project than not enough. Okay, planners, calendars. They're not the same. You need both. I tell students this all the time, right? Planners are useful for day-to-day activities, for you to script your activities and track actions and more, right? Calendars, bigger picture, when you can see clump points, when future due dates or things. You can kind of see where things are going to fall, right? You need both of these. College is going to force you to be organized, especially for summer classes. All right, so what you want to do is create routines to be successful while you're here. Right? Now, summer success means successful routines built around your summer courses. One of the problems that we very often have when we sit there and say, hey, I want to be successful. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. No, you're taking these summer classes. You need to focus on being successful in that course. So your routines need to center around that course. All right, so things to keep in mind, right? Keep it centered. Keep your routine around the class. Am I doing work for the class? Am I kind of resting to do work for the class? What am I doing around my courses? Right? Also have pre-class, during class, and after class routines to help you learn. Think about how you're going to get ready for that class lecture, what you're going to do in class, and what you're going to do after class to help you learn that material, right? Also, assignments and tests, have routines for those, right? Think about when you're going to do it. You get the assignment, you're going to do X, Y, or Z, right? You're going to do certain things. You're going to move forward on those because you don't have time to have any slips. Establish weekend routines to keep you on track as well. And again, keep your course at the center of your success routines. All right, thanks for joining us thank you for joining us for suggestions for summer success. That was batch 1. Batch 2 will be forthcoming. Again, my name is Michael. I'm a learning specialist here at Lehigh Carbon Community College. Reach out to us if there's anything we need to help you. Enjoy your summer classes. How do you think that went? Went well? Not bad for the first one, huh? Do better next time? Okay.